I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. Today, we're going to be looking at some pro card winners from the NPC North Americans in the figure division. And we're going to talk about what is winning on the figure stages right now for pro card or anyone else. So if you are competing in figure and you want to know what you need to be focused on, watch this video. Stay with me all the way through to the end. I guarantee you're going to get a lot of important tips, strategies, tools, and things to know exactly what judges are looking for right now. So again, it's NPC North Americans, probably one of the most competitive figure shows we have seen this year. So very, very competitive. A lot of size, a lot of shape, a lot of leanness. Let's take a look. All right, so we have Elizabeth here, and she is the overall winner and pro card winner as well. So technically, she should be the most accurate figure physique that we're going to see on the stage as far as what judges want to go for, right? So figure division, we know it's all about the delts and a super narrow waist, wide lats, that dramatic V tapered look. So athletes typically that showcase the more dramatic V taper are going to do better and better, and she does not sleep on that. She's got a lot of that. Very full delts, a lot of deltoid, going on in the front delt, that lateral delt, a lot of development in the lats, creating that width. I'm sure we're going to see some depth from the back. One thing I do want to notice are bicep and tricep. Typically, um, you know, we're not seeing as much development there in those arms, but she's got it, and that's looking great. It really pulls off the look. It does indicate a lot to judges, just how much muscle you have in that upper body. So for some athletes, it's actually a plus to have a little bit bigger bicep and tricep. So she really has that. It looks great. Super narrow waist effect here, right? Tapers in super well, and that's again everything about this division is that V taper. Now, lower body wise, what we should see is the quads, really do balance out and match what's going on up top. And we do see that, right? So good shape in the quads, good balance overall. And her condition is spot on, where we can see clearly some separations, in the upper body. We can see these abs coming in, not required, but they are there. And then we see clear separations in the lower body as well. And again, figure is all about that symmetry up and down and left and right. And whoever has that is going to win. And she really does, have a very symmetrical, complete look, total balance on both sides all the way. There is nothing to say that that could really be that much more improved going into the pro leagues. What's it going to be? More size, right? That's what it always is when you go into the pro leagues. Got to have a little bit more size, a little bit more shape, a little more density. But let's not speak too soon before we get to the back. So from the back, judges are really looking at the same thing. They want to see all those same kind of markers. So they're looking for that shoulder development, rear delts, which she has, and also width to the lats, creating this super tapered look. She has that to a great degree. One thing she does need a little bit more of, in my opinion, at least, is probably a little bit more depth to the back, right? So judges, they look for that width, but they also want to see the depth a little bit more in the back, rhomboids, scaps, traps, erectors, things like this to create that density look. She does have it, no doubt, a very wide back, very dramatic V-tapered look, but a little bit more of that muscle and density is probably what's going to continue to favor her going into the pro leagues, right? So that's another thing there. Lower body wise, glutes do match very, very well with what's going on up top, and the quads and the hamstrings are very symmetrical to what's going on with the glutes. So in your back post, it should really be that V tapered look, and lower body wise, you should see that all be symmetrical and match. And so again, she totally locks that down. Congratulations, very, very dominant pro card winning look here. Now let's take a look at some other of our pro card winners here. Class D. Pro card winner Megan. So Megan has a really good overall structure. We can see great shape in the shoulders here. Good density, good shape and size, good shape in the bicep and tricep too. Again, figures looking like it's kind of leveling itself up at the NPC level right now because these athletes are getting bigger, they're getting leaner, and they're really bringing through that look. She's got a super good V tapered look coming from the lats, coming from a very narrow waist, ties it in all well, and lower body wise, everything matches right. She has good symmetry in the quads, good fullness overall. Everything ties together. It's very symmetrical. It's a very complete look from the front, and I'm assuming we're going to see again when we go to the back, a very similar story, right? So from the back, what we can see, good overall shoulder density here, good shape from the lats, that width, that taper in. She does have good depth to the back. You can see the erectors and the scaps, the traps, that rear deltoid, everything kind of ties in very, very well there. And glute structure matches what's going on with the quads, matches what's going on with the hamstrings. It's a very complete look. No doubt. One more thing I do want to note on Megan, though, right, is she does have a ton of tattoos. Like, if you look at this, she's got tattoos pretty much everywhere. and she's still winning her pro card. It's one of the most common questions I get. I've been trying to talk about it more and more because these athletes are really pulling off, wins with this look all the time, and it's not a big deal. She may have honestly some of the most tattoos I've seen of any figure competitor in recent mind, and she's still winning. She still won her pro card at this event. So if you got these tattoos, you worry about this and that. I know athletes are trying to cover them with makeup and things. I mean, it's not what you need to be doing. Just showcase your physique, get your physique where it needs to be, just like she did. Go showcase and rock and roll. And I mean, she's got the total look. She's got everything complete, and she went and won the pro card. And she's got a ton of tattoos. So stop worrying about your tattoos. Get yourself on stage. All right. All right. Let's take a look now at another pro card winner here in this group. This is going to be Class H winner and pro card winner Danielle here. So what we can see here is Danielle has good overall shoulder shape and density there. We can see definitely it's no doubt a little bit more than we were seeing on some of the other competitors, right? So she has just a lot of that shape, a lot of that density to that deltoid. Good taper in here with the lats, not as much from the lats from that front though. It's a little bit more of a narrow look. Good taper in overall though from that. Not as much fullness down in the lower body here as the overall winner, but again, still very symmetrical, still very complete look. A lot of muscular density, a lot of size there, a lot of shape, and conditioning is very spot on. If we look at the three of them here, we can see there's some clear differences, but also some clear similarities. Elizabeth, winning. She has the most muscle, the most fullness, the most balanced look up and down. Danielle here, though, locks it in. Great look from the front. Let's see from the back. So she's one that has, good shoulder shape and size, good overall width. Her width is a little bit more narrow, but typically we do see that on taller figure competitors anyway, a little bit more of a narrowed lat spread there. She has a lot of great depth to the back, though. You can see everything, scaps, traps, rhomboids, lats, erectors, everything kind of coming together. And a good balance in the lower body. Probably needs a little bit more muscle structure and maybe a little bit more conditioning lower to really pull that through. But overall, very good look. Wins that pro card. Nothing to scoff at. Very, very good, representation of what's winning on these stages right now, especially when it comes to the pro leagues. Real quick, guys, do the free trial. I tell you all the time, but a lot of you still don't do it. And then I get people in there, they're like, I've been listening to you say it for like a year, so I finally did it. I'm like, why didn't you do it a year ago? They're like, oh, it's amazing. This is the best thing I've done. I learned so much. I'm having such a great time. Yeah, well, don't be one of those people that wait years and hundreds of my videos later to come train me free for 7 days. Just type this in. You get to come into my app. You'll be in my platform in literally 1 minute, and you can talk to me there. You can ask me questions, can help you with give you a physique analysis, let you know what you need to work on, build your training splits, help you with your nutrition, whatever it is you need. Posing, all of it is right there. Free opportunity. Don't sleep on it. Go do it, especially if you have heard me talk about it and you haven't. Last one I want to look at, Class B winner and pro card winner here, Melanie. So Melanie has good overall shape and structure. She has good, delts, good width from the lats, especially from the front post here. Great taper in, creates that V tapered look. What you'll notice is all of these competitors have a very, very consistent look right now in figure. And her quads, good fullness, good shape, a lot of good condition there. It all matches. What's the difference, right? She doesn't have as much muscular density as that overall winner. She has the same structure, not as much fullness, not as much shape, not as much size. That's probably her main thing to look at. Conditioning wise, she's there. Shape wise, she's there. And again, she wins the pro card. So I'm just trying to further highlight what's winning, that overall versus not, to give you a better idea of what judges are really looking for in this division right now. But it is muscle, it is shape, it is size. From the back, she does tighten up that race quite a bit because we do see a very consistent look from the back here where we see the good shoulder shape, strong rear delts, strong depth to the back, also so good width, also good erectors, everything there, good balance with the glutes, the quads, and the hamstrings. I mean, overall, very complete look. The difference, again, comes back to the muscularity, a little bit more width coming here, not as much there, so on and so forth. But you could go either way, saying a little bit more depth maybe, but hey, this is all good because all these women won pro cards and they're all great examples of what this criteria is really doing right now. What do you guys think? Do you like the direction of figure as it sits? Do you like where it's heading? Do you like where it's going? Or do you think, something needs to change up? It's getting too muscular, too lean, or you want it bigger or you want it leaner? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. Coach Ryan is out.